What's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. So the prejudging for the 2025 Flex Pro Italy just wrapped up. And in the first call out, the top two is exactly who we expected it to be. Andrea Presti and Neckzilla Rubiel Mascara, the two very clear frontrunners here. And I feel like you're going to hear a very different tone from me about Rubiel in this video. I think in the context of this particular lineup, I think Rubiel has this in the bag. And I think he also looked tighter than he did at the Dubai show. I think he still has improvements to make at the Olympia level, conditioning-wise, and definitely with his posing. As you watch him pose, one of the things that I noticed with him here and in Dubai is he doesn't really seem to hold the poses long enough. But I think it is very clearly between him and Andrea Presti. And in my opinion, Rubiel is winning this, I think, pretty handily. I think he did more than enough here. I'm looking at, when you watch these poses, I think Rubiel hands down takes the two side poses. That's just right off the bat, two poses to Rubiel. I think you also have to give him the abs and thighs right off the bat, just because Andrea Presti's legs are just so much smaller than Rubiel. It's such a noticeable difference. I feel like you got to give Rubiel that pose as well. So now he's got 3 of 8. I also think Rubiel is taking the most muscular, so now he's got 4 of the poses. And I will say, I mean, Andrea Presti is known for conditioning. He's better conditioned than Rubiel here, no doubt about it. But like I said in the preview video, I feel like Andrea Presti is a lot different than what Rubiel was facing in the Dubai lineup. He's got more weaknesses. His tricep, I think, is a weak point. His back, his legs. And Rubiel didn't really have that opportunity with those top 5 guys in Dubai. They didn't have these weaknesses. So they were in better condition than him, and they were arguably more complete and had better flow. This is a different scenario where I feel like just being in better condition isn't enough to beat Rubiel here. Like, him getting in that first call out in Dubai was because his size and freak factor carried him to that first call out. And I will say he's not even in bad shape here. I think Rubiel is a lot tighter than he was in Dubai. I think especially if you look at his glutes and hamstrings, I think you're seeing a lot more separation here in the glutes and hams than you saw in Dubai. I think he looked tighter through the back. I think you're seeing deeper striations in his chest and shoulders. I think this is a pretty good look for Rubiel compared to the looks that we've seen from him so far. And I do think he's probably going to win this, and he's probably going to get his ticket to the Olympia. I still think he needs to step it up for the Olympia, because just bear in mind, this is a much different lineup than Dubai. So I feel like when we look at Rubiel in a lineup like this, he stands out a lot more. I feel like he looks a lot better, because it's all about who you're next to in bodybuilding. And in Dubai, when you're next to all these top Olympians, it's going to make you look worse. In a lineup like this where you're next to a lot of guys that most people don't even know or haven't heard of, he stands out a lot more. He looks a lot better. So there is like a context thing at play here. But in the context of this show, I think Rubiel crushed it. So where were we? We're at 4 poses to Rubiel so far. We had the abs and thighs, both side shots, and the most muscular. And by the way, they did do another call-out. This was the final call-out of the night, these 3 guys, which also included Adolf Berghardt, who we saw compete in the Dubai Pro. And I will say, as you watch this call-out, again, to Rubiel's credit, Andrea Presti particularly was really sweating a lot. His color was running. Adolf, towards the end, he was starting to sweat a little bit. He wasn't running as bad, his color. But to Rubiel's credit, for as big of a guy as he is, he barely broke a sweat at all compared to either of those other 2 guys in the top 3. And again, in my opinion, I think Rubiel is winning this pretty handily. So we would only have to really give Rubiel one more pose to make it 5-3. And I do think that Presti will be the runner-up and Adolf will be 3rd. But looking at Rubiel, I'd say to give him one more pose, I'd say the front lat spread would be another easy one to give him. That would make it 5-3, him over Presti. The back poses, I think, are a little bit more negotiable. But probably going to go to Neckzilla because of the fact that I think he just has more thickness in his lower lats. He just has more density. And Presti has like these really high inserted lats, and there's kind of this gap in that lower portion of his back that Neckzilla doesn't have. He has thickness basically all the way through. So I think you'd probably give him the back poses, even though I think he needs to work on the way he hits his back double specifically. Neckzilla does. And I feel like front double bicep might go to Andrea Presti. I feel like that's one of the poses for me that Neckzilla's balance is really off. I feel like his proportions in that pose just look really kind of wonky. But even so, at this point, it would be like 7 poses to 1 Neckzilla versus Andrea Presti. I would honestly be very, very surprised if Neckzilla doesn't win this show. I think he's got this in the bag, and a very different story for him here than in Dubai. Granted, might not have been the deepest lineup, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who you got winning this show? Do you think Neckzilla did enough to pull it off here and get his Olympia qualification? Let me know down below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, click that bell notification icon if you have not already, and as always, I love you guys, appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out. All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at Nick Strength Power. My Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power. My secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel. And consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.